Going to take a look at the teams that the players are about to use in the finals of U.S. National Championships. So they've played lots and lots of Dice Masters. So we've got David's team here. So this is just the characters that he's chosen to bring. So Hulk, Green Goliath, Professor X, Psylocke, Black Widow, and Gabi are not surprising whatsoever. Wolverine, formerly Weapon 10, has been his big wow card this weekend. Huge attack, and Doom Caliber Knight forces it through. Really just phenomenal that he's doing between 9 and 12 damage with a single attack from this 4-cost die. Wow. And we also got Blue Eyes White Dragon as kind of an energy fixer, which is just really critical when you're trying to buy important dice that are 4 or 6 cost like David is doing. David's also running Polymorph to accentuate the effectiveness of Hulk and Wolverine. So, we got Dane here. Dane, what are some of your thoughts on this team other than things I've already said?
Well, I mean, I have to agree with a lot of it. I love Wolverine. He fits into the curve very well. He's a fist, so he pumps the other guys. He comes out of left field. I mean, a lot of people just don't see him coming.
Totally agreed.
A lot of people are bringing, can't block globals and stuff like that. So
yep, like Relentless.
He's just amazing.
Swords of Revealing Light, yeah, and I believe Relentless is David's second basic action card. I think we're going to switch over to Kelly's team now. So Kelly is bringing a lot of the characters that if you played in the AVX only metagame, you're sure to recognize: Human Torch, Storm, Black Widow, Gabi. Then we've got the AVX, the Uncanny classics of Professor X and Psylocke. Blue Eyes White Dragon, great energy fixer, but Millennium Puzzle, wow, what a bomb card Millennium Puzzle is. I got absolutely wrecked by Millennium Puzzle this morning, and it totally changed my thoughts on the entire metagame. Just this one card, max 1 die, and it made it all the way to the finals of this event. Win or lose, Kelly should be really happy with his choice of Millennium Puzzle and his play all day. Two really fantastic players, great sports, and Millennium Puzzle is just so fascinating because it is the answer to, I think, David's strategy, that he wants to get out that big character and protect them, and Kelly is going to have the timing capability to stop the Doom Caliber Knight protection and get rid of that character. And in the case of Hulk, he's going to do it without doing damage.
That's the big one.
Wow. That's really just wow. I mean, Polymorph could be okay against this because if there is a sidekick alongside the character, Kelly would use Millennium Puzzle, and then Polymorph's action would swap a fielded character, the sidekick, with the hero of David's choice. But we'll just have to see what happens because there's so much variability here. So everyone's really excited for the finals to begin. We're giving them the thumbs up that they can start. So, okay, so let's figure out who's gonna go first. Okay, so we got energy.
So looks like
so Kelly says this is the first time all tournament I'm not going first. That's rough for his opponents for sure. Okay.
His team is so fast, does so much direct damage.
Yeah.
Going on the play, it's real hard to beat him.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is why Blue Eyes is so critical, that you're gonna get that sidekick you don't really want in the first turn. But wait, no, it's great because this Polymorph buy, wow. David is set to, I think, curve perfectly for his deck. I think one of the cool things about Polymorph is you can make a strong turn 1 play and have a complete lack of commitment.
That's so versatile.
Yeah,
you can really do anything.
We got a big bar through our screen.
There we
here.
go.
Okay, gone. Fantastic. So got 3 wild, shield, mask, 2 sidekicks. Okay, so Resurrection's basically alive. It's got a 2 and 3 shot of grabbing something important. Either way, it's going to refill the bag with 2 important things. Kelly's going to do the robot. So we'll David a little bit. Okay, so field 2 sidekicks. Okay, so using the Blue Eyes effect and then paying 2 for formerly Weapon 10. Okay. So I think I think David is really on autopilot for the most part. That he's done this before by polymorph by Wolverine, and then he's gonna flip in a Hulk, and that'll lock Kelly out of his options while David finds a way to win.
Yeah, slamming down, turn 3, Wolverine and Hulk is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, no magic missile, so David really at the will of his opponent when Hulk triggers, but still, such
sure.
a wall.
Definitely. I think it's really interesting to see the characters that end up floating to the top as far as who is effective and competitive. That, hey, these are all really some of the most recognizable Marvel characters, and they happen to be among the best. Even the Spider-Bomb is also an example of this. The least recognizable character on the field right now is probably Doom Caliber Knight alongside Psylocke. But anyone who's a hardcore Yu-Gi-Oh fan is certain to know who Doom Cal is, and anyone who's a hardcore Marvel fan is certain to know who Psylocke is.
Oh, and I can't wait to see them face off with some of the DC characters.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so exciting.
Oh, gosh. As much excitement as there is for Nationals, it truly feels like there is a slightly incomplete piece to the puzzle, and we will see that at Worlds when the best of the absolute best compete. And we have one more set to make things more interesting and complex and challenging for these players.
So yeah, he got the sidekick out, which is amazing. I mean, he's really ready to go with polymorph already.
Okay, so
he got another sidekick that he can feed to Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Kelly's trying to get there for Green Goblin, but it's probably going to be a little too slow on the draw.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. So, not sure what face Wolverine is on. It looks like he's on his level 3 face because there's not a burst.
Well, that is horrifying.
So, but it's a big investment of energy for David at this point, and
he really wants to keep some masks up, but he's thinking about going for it all here.
I mean, Wolverine could always just slowly punch through the sidekicks, but he might just want to clear.
What's a shame here is that Resurrection's not really going to do, or the polymorph's really not going to do anything. He's just going to kind of hang out.
Yeah, what is he? He's going to spend 2 and then polymorph in a Zarina? Not fabulous. Not the worst. The problem is if you get the action face on polymorph when in a situation like this, when you also have the level 3 Wolverine, you could reroll both and get something much worse, or you could reroll one of them and hope for something slightly better. Just didn't pan out. There was basically a 2 and 3 chance, I think, for David that you had a better roll, because the double fists would probably be better in the scenario because you could try and polymorph in a Hulk, or the
which is going to be huge against that Goblin that's about to come down.
So big, yeah. Or wow. Okay, so he's gonna buy the Zarina and polymorph in, I guess.
He's going with it. Doesn't want to lose that
commitment.
advantage.
Yeah.
So maybe he just attacks with Serena here.
Yep. Yep. No spin down. Kelly goes.
And it's to the lowest. So worst case scenario, he gets through. Kelly takes 4. Best case scenario, he blocks with a pawn. He gets rerolled again in his prep next turn.
Absolutely.
So I don't hate it. You lose a little of your Professor X engine, but I was speaking with David about why he doesn't have Magic Missile, and he said that he didn't like it because on the low end they could just pick off Wolverine pretty quickly. So there's drawbacks to both, but he said he loves how Weapon 10's doing.
Yeah.
You can't argue with the results.
Very tough to argue with the results. One of the things with one of the things about sitting here and commentating for all this is as much experience as any of us might have playing Dice Masters. Ultimately, these are the guys who have had the success. They've been doing something right, and it's really tough to question that they've been working so hard and seeing the results. Okay, so Kelly is sitting on like a good spread of energy for what he could possibly want. So he's gonna field Gabi, and David's gonna take some damage. 3. He's at 17, and field Zarina. So he can spin down Wolverine to save himself some damage. but I don't think it's that feel good in terms of what it does for him.
Yeah, I think that Kelly's probably going to attack. Oh, is he going to make him not be able to block?
Ooh, okay.
He surely doesn't have enough to kill David. The thing is, does David have enough to crack back and win? I'm sure Kelly's contemplating whether to send the sidekicks or not, because Goblin and Black Widow are almost assuredly coming in.
But I think this is where the lack of the poke global is going to really matter. That, hey, I could send 2 of my 5 characters at you, take big damage. I don't reintroduce the sidekicks to mess up my ramp. Okay, so David is just gonna use Professor X's global, and I guess it looks like he's not gonna block. Oh no, he's spinning down.
He's gonna spin down, but I don't think he'll.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll block because he does want Kelly to have to draw them.
Mm-hmm. So these guys live approximately a mile away from one another, is what I was hearing earlier. That's really impressive. They have to be really, really happy with the effort that they as a team kind of have put into this. For the most part, they're getting the same prizes. It's really just about the glory of being national champion at this point. And these guys have just been so friendly all weekend with everyone I've seen them with that I can't help but imagine they're going to be really happy for whoever wins. They're just glad to be sitting where they're sitting.
But I played Kelly twice. I didn't get a chance to play David, but I spoke with him all weekend. Both great guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
Couldn't pick a better final match here.
Okay, so a lot for David to think about here. He's eyeing that polymorph play, but still he doesn't have a ton of energy, so it's not like he can do the big purchase into a big dude.
He does have the option to bring in another Serena if.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of Professor X Trainer, and I can't help but think, why not polymorph him in? He's got a big defense. He could be a good person to pull in, but
I'm surprised that people haven't been polymorphing in Jinzo more. That guy seems like a house.
Oh, Jinzo's so good. Yeah, why am I not polymorphing in Jinzo in my free time? He's it kind of turns the polymorph play on its head to some extent. That, hey, I'm gonna warp in the control guy instead of warp in the beatdown guy.
Yeah, and it's the great thing about the list is if it were in there, you could adjust. You could adjust really well. But you only have 8 spots, and I think David chose his spots perfectly.
I think he's on track to become national champion. So doing something right. Okay, so 1 PXG global from Kelly. And I wonder about him sitting on that question mark, that wild. Is he going to try and use distraction?
Yep, here it goes.
Nope, just PXGs again. Okay.
Polymorph not working to perfection like we'd hoped for David here.
But I mean, there could be 2 more games.
Of course, I'm sure it's not the last we've seen of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see another Hulk fly into the board. It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. I really like the art on polymorph, honestly, because it's kind of ambiguous. Is it pulling it together? Is it morphing it back into the ground? And I think that's pretty perfect for the effect.
I think the art on the entire D&D set was very, very good.
Yeah, they've supplied us with some really great stuff. I think it's to some extent just a different style that people were used to the comic style, whereas the D&D style is much more like painted portrait-like.
I think it's nice. They both have they're separate. They
have their separate strengths there. They both really speak to what they are derived from, and that is absolutely the way it should be. Gabi has a really happy look to him, like, thanks for visiting. And that's probably one of the reasons that he benefits from sidekicks. They seem like they'd visit people. They don't have special powers. Okay, so Gabi's doing some burn damage. Okay, so oh no, Gabi was getting polymorphed into play.
Oh, that was very nice. Actually,
Yeah,
that play a lot.
It's really strong to not let Kelly refield the Gabi, either potentially at a higher level or for the damage. So I think that's part of one of the things that a Genzo-oriented polymorph team would really take advantage of.
Kelly's not backed into a corner here, though. He does have
Oh,
blue eyes.
absolutely
He's
not.
ready to put Goblin back in the prep area, get him refielded.
Well, he's not. He's going to put it into prep, and I don't think... Did polymorph grab from prep or just used?
No, just the used.
Yeah, so Gabi is safe in prep. Then again, he could just attack for the damage, and getting the damage through, getting Gabi KO'd. It's all good.
At that point, he's probably trading with a Serena, and then you have to worry about the crackback. It's It's a lot of... You got to be really far ahead here, these high levels.
Many steps ahead. I was saying earlier in the weekend, I kind of wish that we had something sophisticated enough like the chess engines where you're like, okay, this person has a +3 advantage, and then they make the next move. Oh no, it's -2 now. But just as complex as chess is, this is so much more complex. It would constantly change.
So many lines
much.
of play. Yeah. It really is, as we saw in the last match that we watched. It's very, you can't stick in your own path because what worked in game 1 might not work.
Anymore, especially when someone conditions you that, oh, what would have been the right move last time is not always the right move this time. David is looking at his spin down options. So, after all of the interest in players not using Professor X, here we have two teams with Professor X. So these guys were just saying, no, I'm going to do a better job of utilizing this than my opponents will. I think that is the belief that they probably had, that it was worth devoting the spot instead of taking the gamble. And it's really paid off for them.
Professor X is a powerhouse. You see a few lockout teams that don't like to use him, but all in all, the guy he's just functionality. He's so good.
It is. Some people think it's too good, and I really strongly disagree because I believe the number of teams, the variety of teams, will be so vastly diminished.
Of course, yeah, just like it was when AVX just came out.
Yeah, and I really think he does more to give a proliferation of strategies than any other card in the game right now.
I think at local levels you see a lot of people playing, mostly masked teams and putting all 8 in the prep area every turn. But you can see here at the high levels, there's no time for that.
Yeah,
Professor X gets you dice every now and then, but you're only getting it from your sidekicks. It's not as effective as people. It's not as scary as people think it is. I
absolutely agree. And sure, you can do some crazy early play and break your ramp, but then okay, fine, you got your Hulk, you got your Apocalypse or whatever. You got to have some gas left in the tank to go the distance, and that is something that these players have been managing all weekend. Okay, so David has just a lot of options based on the number of wilds that he has. He doesn't have access to a polymorph action this turn, so we'll see what happens.
I worry here because I think David, Kelly's in a very dominant position. David's got some options here, but he knows that he's probably going to be up against 3 Black Widows and a Gabi next turn.
Yep.
So he really needs to find a way out.
He's shaking his head because he didn't get a character face on Black Widow.
And his own Doom Caliber diet might be the death of him here because he can't distract stuff back.
Doom Calzone. Yeah. Okay, so he is going into the tank on this one. Like, he doesn't have a way to do everything he needs to, basically. Like, he would absolutely need Kelly to not hit a fist next turn, number 1.
And if David brings one of the globals here that pumps, maybe it's different. Maybe something happens and he's able to pull off the Wolverine kill here. But Kelly didn't bring it, so he's got to deal with the hand that he's dealt.
Yeah, and like literally a single sidekick could have made this different, right? Because but wow. Even a level 2 Black Widow would have been, I think, the best thing for David, because he'd be able to put the level 2 Black Widow out, use the global on Polymorph to spin the Black Widow down and the Wolverine up, and then he could Relentless, Doom Cowl, attack the game. But what lies just outside his grasp must be so troubling here.
And Kelly's got to be feeling pretty good about where he's at. He was on the draw here, which means that if game 2 doesn't go his way, he'll get a shot with his hyper aggro team on the play.
Zoom. That's what we're gonna be watching then. And I was hearing what Kelly did in a previous game. He bought a Resurrection die, and then he bought a Millennium Puzzle die, and he used Resurrection to go and grab Millennium Puzzle out of his use to roll it, and was able to leverage that into throwing off someone else's tempo and winning the game. Crazy, incredible. Like,
talk about thinking outside the box. That is.
Yeah, very thinking outside the box. Like, we can only get so many games on video, but we don't know which ones are going to be the crazy ones, so we can't like select ahead of time. He's just moving way to the left side of the field. Okay, so he got 3 energy faces across his character dice. It's not totally unreasonable for Kelly to just reroll everything, because he knows he needs to like create blockers and create damage. Okay, so he's
that is a whiff.
Whoa, Kelly's done. I think that was Kelly being done, right? I'm pretty sure Kelly was out. Guys, you won that game. Oh, okay. Yeah, so verifying we didn't miss something, that David won the first game. Kelly describes himself at the bottom of the hill, but he's getting to go first. Oh, that is not the roll I think he wants. He's going to reroll all 4. I agree. And that is worse.
So you buy a polymorph here, right? Try and go around.
I agree. Yeah, buy a polymorph and PXG. Because he doesn't have a Constantine. No, but buy. Oh, they both brought Resurrection. So what? Right? Oh no. That's a Relentless, and it's polymorph. So he can only Resurrection once, because they don't both have it.
You get Resurrection once on his turn and once on his opponent's? Is that
no, it's once during your turn, but when there's 2 copies of the global, you're allowed to use each copy, even though it's once per turn. The game does not recognize that the things are identical. Okay, so David pretty much has what he wants. So I think he goes Black Widow. Oh, maybe not. I thought he was going to go Black Widow, and then Resurrection, and then he would PXG. But he might want to go for polymorph play as well. Like, kind of, why not? His team takes better advantage of the polymorph than Kelly. Though there's a silly...
His threats are much better, yeah.
Yeah, there's a silly scenario where... Oh, okay, so he wanted a sidekick face, because that's better ramp. If David didn't buy the polymorph there was an opportunity for Kelly to buy 2 and just say, the heck with it, I'm playing the polymorph team now and you're not.
Buy your guys the hard way.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I think the cool thing for Kelly to polymorph in is Human Torch.
Of course. That does seem like the good one.
Sit there, sneak him into play, and then actually field your cheap characters.
With Relentless out there, I'm still a big fan of the style points, Blue Eyes.
Style points, Blue Eyes could be big. Gabi and Blue Eyes work together on a lot of different levels. Get all your sidekicks into play for Gabi. KO all your sidekicks for Blue Eyes.
Magical Christmas Land. But no, I think Human Torch is the cap here that would just push him over the limit.
Yeah, no. It's going to be Gonna be exciting to see what he comes up with. So David doesn't have a bolt to turn the sidekick into. Oh, okay, so he's gonna reroll those guys. So he still doesn't have a bolt, but he no longer has a sidekick either. Theoretically, he buys Wolverine here and then uses PXG 3 times.
Yeah, seems like a pretty straight line of play. I think he might be contemplating 2 Black Widows as well.
The advantage of 2 Black Widows in this matchup would really just be you have more dice you can spin down for your opponent's Black Widows. Okay. Very like clean, organized play from both these players. They're moving things to their transition zone and then they're moving things into their use pile as a result. Okay, big roll. 2 fists on that Black Widow die. It's getting rolled. Psychic's getting rolled.
He wants the polymorph. He wants it bad.
Yeah, so
he has something in mind.
Okay.
2 energy, still not the worst.
Yeah. So rerolling the Sidekick is a signal to me, at least, that he didn't want to polymorph someone yet. But 2 energy is going to be part of buying a Human Torch, maybe. Maybe it's part of buying... Oh, Millennium Puzzle.
There it is.
King of games.
Oh, and he was able to prep it as well. That seems pretty good.
That's really, really fantastic. Like, David's in really big trouble. Like, it wouldn't be totally unreasonable to me for Kelly to completely win the game off of 1 or 2 Zarinas and a Millennium Puzzle lock.
No, that is. I mean, especially when you have a strategy like David that's so one character centric.
Yeah.
It's hard to get through Millennium Puzzle.
Absolutely. I talk about linear strategies, and sometimes that means a single character card, and sometimes it means singular character dice. And either way, I like it when people can kind of get around those. Okay, so we see I believe level 2 Wolverine from David here. Okay, got 2 bolts, shield, 3 sidekicks. Ooh. So this could be the beginning of a big polymorph play. We could have a polymorph Hulk out.
Because he's got lightnings for the other 2 sidekicks as well. I mean, this could be.
I mean,
he's got an extra fist to give them the protection from Doomcal. I mean,
nope. David wants better. But okay.
He'll get basically the same.
Yeah, I think it might be marginally worse. Like, he doesn't have the significant amount of bolts that he did before. Okay, so let's see what he does here. So he fields Wolverine, fist, shield, polymorph, and 2 wild remaining.
So the Hulk play is still an option here, right?
Yes, he
no.
could.
He's one sidekick short.
Well, if he KO'd Wolverine, he could do it.
Oh,
that would have been an awful use of his energy, but he could do it. Yeah, I think the
Black Widow is a safer play. Yeah.
Yeah, much better.
Approximately halfway, gentlemen.
Okay, that sounds about right. They're halfway through the time limit.
Playing at a pretty good pace. Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna let everybody go home soon, but it's really weird that there's just so much excitement all weekend, that everyone's so happy to be here playing Dice Masters, and then as the weekend winds down and we have fewer and fewer people, we're really excited to crown a national champion. But at the same time, it's just you kind of get used to it. Like, this is what life is, and then you go home and it's really not as much fun and exciting anymore. And you're like, oh, why wasn't I not more hyped up at the end? Okay, so they're excited for the. Also, Kelly's at 10.
We're never going to get to see the Millennium Puzzle, apparently.
I mean, I think the plot in the show is that, like, no one could solve the puzzle for 2,000 years or something. So Kelly's got a few more rolls before he can hit 2,000 years worth of dice rolls. There it is. Okay.
Still no polymorph, though.
Still no polymorph.
It's all right. I think he's fine with it being energy here.
Yeah, I think it's
Although
pretty
that's Serena,
acceptable.
he'd really like that to be a person.
Yeah, he'd really. I mean, it's okay because he missed so many other things. Like to hit the polymorph and not hit any character is not good. So, why? Oh,
We've got a judge call
Good.
here. Question.
oh, so he's asking if he's able to spend all the energy simultaneously. So, yeah, so he's gonna spend 4 by 2. Yeah, so
Simultaneous actions,
Yeah, so
yep.
simultaneous. So long as you're spending it all at once, it basically just avoids a memory effect of, oh yeah, I have one generic energy that I cannot explain. Versus at least when you have the generic energy because you ran out of dice, you've taken a damage. So there's a signal. Oh, I just did this other thing to have exactly this many energy remaining. Okay, so got some counting going on. Something exciting can happen.
That is a Mask and a Lightning. You can not
Okay.
buy a Black Widow with that.
Kelly, was that a Mask and a Lightning to buy Black Widow? Okay, so slight error from Kelly. He's corrected his play.
Yep. 9 rounds of Dice Masters will do that to you.
Yeah, 9
9,
rounds.
10, 11. I think they're on
So,
11.
no,
so
today is round. It's round 8 for today, and if they played both events yesterday, that was 8 rounds. So we could be 17 rounds deep into the weekend, not counting rainbow drafts. It's a long weekend.
yeah, and these guys are obviously friends, so no malicious play or anything. Just
absolutely.
a little wear and
So-
tear there. Got Millennium Puzzle on the board.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yep. I think it's upside down. He's just trying to make David look at it, fear it. Okay. Oh, so David is ready to polymorph. Boom, boom. Okay, so David also misses the polymorph. He's gonna reroll it for sure. He's gonna reroll the sidekicks too. I think he just needs to.
I think he's
climb
thinking about
uphill.
keeping 1 and a Lightning separate to buy whatever he needs to, but it's just such a
I mean,
tough
he's
play.
already got a sidekick out, and if he doesn't hit another one, he can polymorph the.
Yeah,
Black Widow.
I don't know if he's noticed that yet. There we go.
Mhm.
'Cause he pulled it aside with a Lightning there, and
Mhm.
you get that tunnel vision.
So one of the cool things you can do with polymorph is you can declare your attack with Black Widow. Your opponent can't spin down; they take the damage. Then you can polymorph Black Widow after blockers are declared to have a new character that is no longer attacking.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Have to wonder how often David uses that combat trick.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but he's just played enough games that I'm sure it's come up. A lot of the times people don't think about using the basic actions during their own attack step because it's not always the best route. You'd rather clear away blockers or gain whatever advantages early on in your turn.
You see David there checking how many dice he's got in his bag. He's going to
Yep, time
grab
for
one.
resurrection.
That's a good res right there.
It's a good resurrection.
If there
but-
weren't a Millennium Puzzle on the battlefield.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the thing is, David just needs to get 2 big beefy guys out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that means he needs to grab a Hulk or he needs to grab a second Wolverine. But as we said before, Wolverine's really not that strong in multiples. He doesn't have a fist energy to get that, to get either one of them actually. So plan B, Professor X? No, not quite. But
So if you're just joining us, Kelly actually started his match by buying a polymorph from David.
Yep.
So he's really, kind of stumbled early, but he's stabilized now. It's turned into a really good match.
yeah. I think it's kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop to some extent. That Kelly is going to be able to polymorph
critical
someone.
mass at some point.
Yeah. He's going to polymorph at some stage, and it is going to be very, very good. He's just going to roll a ton of dice next turn, so maybe next turn's the turn. what's going to matter is if he's able to roll the polymorph, enough energy for Human Torch, and then polymorph into Human Torch. Each Black Widow character die is potentially 3 damage with 4 in attack. So that's 12 damage. That's the majority of David's life right now. Okay.
Kelly's Professor acting very well.
Big
David's,
money, big money.
His rolls really haven't allowed him to.
So the fact that Kelly did not use Millennium Puzzle at the end of David's main step should be an indicator to us of a few things. Number 1, Kelly's okay with taking whatever Black Widow damage. Number 2, Kelly doesn't think he's going to hit all of his dice next turn, so he doesn't want to risk not having a Millennium Puzzle when it's most effective, versus saying, oh, I bet I can get 1 additional use out of this that I wouldn't normally. 2. Oh, okay, so Kelly could miss Polymorph this turn. Nope.
Yep, we got it.
So, I mean, he can still miss it. There's 25% chance he doesn't get the right face on it.
4 Black Widows, though. That is a lot of damage.
Yep. Okay, so we've got a sidekick. We've got the polymorph face. Bless you to the person sneezing next to me. And I mean, the sidekicks are just good on their own at this point. Like,
but he hasn't bought a Gabi yet. So there's just going to be a little bit of damage. He needs to
polymorph
polymorph from that Human Torch. Then they'll be
polymorphing the Human Torch is going to be enormous. But so he's got to reroll into more characters anyway. So he's carefully setting aside the
just
dice.
The Black Widows,
not
right?
wish to reroll.
Dice.
Yep. Okay. Punching. Okay. So those fists are going to turn into energies for a character. Let's see who Kelly selects.
I think he's thinking what we are.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be pretty nice.
Oh, mistake.
Oh yeah, why not just 1?
Oh.
Why do you need both?
Okay, so 1 to David, knocks out David's sidekick. Another 1 to David, deals the damage to one of his own characters, probably irrelevant. Okay, so David is at 14. Okay, so Resurrection moves a sidekick.
Still, even with all that Kelly's just done, he's still very efficient with Resurrection, Professor X.
He's not going to exhaust all of his resources until he doesn't have another turn. One way or the other. He's going to either exhaust all of his resources to win the game and go to game 3, or it's going to be a last-ditch effort to make David have some kind of misstep, which might not pan out for him.
And I think that's what a lot of newer players should take is the patience.
Absolutely. Patience is absolutely critical. There's in early Dice Masters, there was a lot of sit behind these walls of characters, and players have developed the strategies to get past that now, but they still seek to leave themselves with enough of a defense that someone else has to work through it. Okay, so David is looking in his bag, trying to figure out what he wants to happen next turn, and what kind of abilities he wants to use in the meantime.
It looks like he's weighing Professor X here if he thinks distraction is necessary.
Yeah, I don't think distraction is necessary. He's not going to lose the game this turn. Okay, so David is going to be taking 4 damage to the dome straight just from the Black Widows not having someone they can spin down.
Yeah, Kelly's in a very dominant position here because he does still have the Millennium Puzzle. He has blockers. He's
every turn that goes by, I think Kelly is closer to winning the game. So Kelly distracts his own Black Widow. Really, really quick clutch there. So David goes down to 7. So the cool thing about Kelly distracting his own Black Widow is it guarantees him that he's going to have like 2 to 5 damage next turn. before his opponent even gets to any of before he even gets to any of the characters. I don't think David has a removal outlet for Human Torch besides Polymorph, which is not something he actually has access to at this moment.
Right, and yeah, he hasn't invested into Psylocke. He's just not well set up at this point to deal with Human Torch.
I don't think he can deal with Human Torch until it is too late.
And those sidekicks, he's going to field these sidekicks thinking they're good blockers, and Human Torch is just going to ping them all away.
Yeah, it at least adds a layer of the problem for Kelly to work through, and if that could just be his best option.
The great thing is Kelly is only going to have 7 dice next turn. It's not going to be a huge 12 dice turn, so there is the chance that maybe things just don't come up right like it did in the last game. But
absolutely true. Yeah, so I think that David is like one or two energy short here, because he could have tried to use Relentless on all 3 potential blockers, and using the Relentless on those guys to force Wolverine through would have been really, really critical. So it would not have, I don't think.
Yeah,
it
I
would
think
have been
Kelly
enough.
still has energy up too. He has one.
Yeah.
He has 1 mask up, so I mean he could still distract because Dave doesn't have a fist
He
for
doesn't
Doom
have the fist
Caliber.
for Doom Cal, yeah.
And I think that might even be the 4/2 Wolverines. That wouldn't even have been enough damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be. Ooh, what? Is he attacking with 4/2 Wolverine? This must be just.
Millennium Puzzle.
Nope. Yep. Good use of the puzzle. So puzzle is going back to the bag. And
It's done more than its job.
Yep. Pay now for an answer later, and Millennium Puzzle's a relatively expensive die to buy. Like at the end of the
5.
day,
It's over the 4 curve.
Yeah.
It's a shield, so that can be awkward.
absolutely true. It's definitely a sleeper hit as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh set was concerned. I did not, in the initial release of Yu-Gi-Oh, hear people ranting and raving about how good this card is. Oh, we've lost a die to the floor. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of people dropping dice on the floor this weekend, and that was really fantastic. Like, who imagined that we were all so graceful? So, Kelly just needs to roll a million sidekicks here, and he'll win the game.
10 minutes left, gentlemen.
All right, so we've got a Black Widow
10
and 2
minutes left.
sidekicks. That's
Oh boy.
pretty good.
Okay, so this game is, I believe this game is literally over, that David doesn't have a way out. Okay.
I'm really confused. Did nothing die from Human Torch?
Let me ask that question.
I wonder if it's a common Human Torch and we just have been looking at it wrong.
No. It's because the common one has the global. What? Kelly, Human Torch. Well, Human Torch. Who did he deal damage to?
What's that?
Who did Human Torch deal damage to?
You know, oh yeah.
Thank you guys.
So it is normally a situation where we would not want people to do optional effects that they forgot. This is not an optional effect on Human Torch. You must do damage to a character. One of the reasons that's important is because if Kelly was the only player with characters out, okay, so Dave concedes. If Kelly was the only player with characters out, that would mean he would have to do damage to his own characters. So fielding a bunch of 1 defense characters, somebody's going to get knocked out by your own Human Torch at some point. Johnny Storm can flip-flop on you a little bit, get a little bit too hot. Okay, so David's going to be going first this game.
It should make for a very interesting game because Kelly's a little bit more aggressive. So.
Should definitely. So, okay. 3 shields and a sidekick. Nope.
Pretend that didn't happen.
Okay. 3 bolts.
Still not great.
I would go as far as actively bad for him. Like these are the rolls that could ruin the whole thing for him. This is this auto. Are you buying? Oh, never mind. I take it back. I thought. Okay, so David going the Gabi route on the play makes a lot of sense to me, especially considering this game is probably going to come down to life totals. Both players had pretty abysmal opening rolls. So, okay, so Kelly is going the Zarina route to David's Gabi. Both have a lot of damage, but Gabi has the bigger body to him, and I think that could be a big factor in this game.
Relentless is gonna put in some work, I hope.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Both players.
Okay. Mask, sidekick, fist shield. Let's. There's no bolt to make the sidekick better with blue eyes.
So what's interesting here is that David used resurrection, so he emptied his field then, or his used pile when he had to draw. So he won't get as much Professor Xing here if he decides to field things.
Yeah, he's pretty limited in his.
So he doesn't want to load up on sidekicks for Gabi, because then the mass won't do as much.
But he also knows that he's going to be hitting a Gabi next turn, no matter what. So to potentially buy a second Gabi and PXG once is a conceivable play.
So what I think he's going to do here is he's going to blue eyes and then possibly buy another Gabi and then PXG twice. Oh no! Yep. Polymorph. Back into old habits.
Okay. Not sure if I like the polymorph Gabi.
No, I think that he was already in on the Gabi strategy there.
Yeah. I think they're pulling him in two different directions, but it also means that Kelly can't have a linear preparation for.
Yeah, David's diversifying his threats really well.
Yeah. Okay, so Kelly's nodding that he's okay with this roll. So buys his arena. If you had asked me a year and a half ago how many times in my entire life I would use the word Zarina, I would have just given you a weird look, and here we are now. Okay. So
the bag is 3 in a Gabi, so no chance for polymorph this turn.
okay, so we're gonna see a Gabi plus many psychic dice. This is the stuff of AVX right here. Okay. Pretty good overall. I approve of this roll.
And the great thing is, Blue Eyes is out there, so he can keep re-triggering Gabi. Sure, he doesn't have a ton of sidekicks now, but
he'll get there.
It'll stack up. And he's not exactly a small body either, like you were saying. So you hate to start blowing masks early to try and keep him on the field.
Yeah, the fact that Gabi and even Scarlet Witch from Uncanny, you can have 3 bolts to give you a character who for 1 to field is going to have 5 attack. Very, very efficient. The fact that Gabi on top of it has 5 defense, wow, like so good. It is very likely that for the rest of Dice Masters, there might never be a Green Goblin as good as Gabi. Okay, so 1 damage to Kelly. He is at 19. Every life point is really going to count here because these guys have less than 10 minutes on the clock for completing this game. Many of the games completed plenty fast, but these guys have had really close games, really long, drawn out battles. So David's thinking about what he's going to do here.
He is going to Professor X so much that he might lose the game from damage he does to himself.
Yeah, but yes. Oh, so he's going to Relentless, just like you called before. That's...
It's at 14. That's
big.
Kelly's got to hold it out of here. But he's got the Black Widows, so it's going to be a race.
It's yeah. And anything could happen. Before you talked about how Doom Caliber Knight could come to bite David, and it very well could. Like this idea from game 1 might be the deciding factor in game 3.
Yeah, you notice how he leaves a fist up there. Oh, no, never mind.
I mean, yeah, he's so likely to reroll a fist between the Black Widows and the sidekick dice. But right now he doesn't care if one gets distracted. That's free damage. That's wasting energy that could be used to ramp. But Kelly confidently proceeds to continue buying Black Widow dice. Uses Resurrection, gets another Black Widow die. Really, when people have the debate of Resurrection versus PXG, part of it just comes down to paying a shield is better than paying a mask.
Yeah, because
Like,
what else are you going to do with it? That's the question, right?
It's going to let you diversify what you can spend your energy toward. And if if PXG was a shield and the other was a mask, I'd be saying the same thing.
Well, the mask supporting cast is a little bit better.
Oh yeah, but
For now.
the spirit of like mask energy is like this is tricky stuff, and so globals they just kind of fit them a little more naturally than some of the other types. Like fist globals, oh yeah, my guy's gonna punch something. It doesn't translate as well.
And I love that the shield globals are defense. You prevent damage, things like that. It's very flavorful.
Definitely got your vibranium shield, your Treant.
There's that damage.
So, okay. David's at 17, Kelly's at 14. Rolling many dice. Theoretically, there's just like a ridiculous roll that David wins the game this turn, right? Like, if he were to like polymorph in a Gabi
with some sidekicks,
with like enough sidekicks, like the polymorphed in Gabi isn't fielded, so he doesn't get his ability. But he he's only have a 2 attack. He can't be he can't polymorph in the level 3.
Yeah, but polymorphing in a Black Widow doesn't seem nearly as bad.
No.
That's free damage.
That is indeed free damage. That is as many as 4. Okay. Kelly takes more damage. Applauds for I think
The attack wing just wrapped up, I believe.
I think one of the attack wings. I'm not sure if it was Star Trek or D&D attack wing they just completed, but congrats to that national champion. Okay, so David is really okay. So David is going to KO someone. KO's Gabi for Blue Eyes. Okay, so David is not going to try and win the game this turn. Okay, so uses Blue Eyes effect. Interesting difference between Blue Eyes and Red Dragon is that Red Dragon you actually have to perform the purchase in order to get the benefit. Oh boy. Okay, so right now David is so David is turn 0. This is actually going to time. So Kelly is going to be turn 1, which means Kelly will also be turn 5. If you count the completion of this turn, both players get 3 more turns. Okay, so
David has Wolverine out.
Well, yeah, come on, go. That's formerly Weapon 10.
He's feeling pretty good. He's going to get in for some serious damage here.
I think his plan is to get in with Wolverine and then complete the game next turn with a Gabi burn, and that could work. Okay, so let's see what Kelly's up to here.
So you probably hold that mask up, right, to make him use one of his as a fist?
I guess, unless you're just like so confident that there's that he doesn't mind paying the fist, and you desperately need it.
But if he pays the fist, then you can just Professor X with it again, and you've taxed him one dice. Is the idea?
Oh yeah.
Worst case scenario is David doesn't attack, which Kelly is completely fine with.
Yeah. I don't know if Kelly can do it. It's such a steep hill to climb.
David has energy up. It's
David has really prepared himself well for this, because he set himself up for success here. Is that a Psylocke die? Yeah. Okay. I don't. Oh no, I mean it's gonna force him to have a fist for Doomcal, I guess, right? The Psylocke die, because the Psylocke has 2 distractions.
Yeah, I mean,
it might never matter because Gabi could turn out to burn for enough, but we'll see.
That's another thing. David hasn't bought any Black Widows, so
yeah,
that isn't there. Gabi could just deal the damage, like you said. That's very possible. See a lot of games end that way.
Okay, so Kelly passes priority at the end of his main step, and David is going to use the Professor X Global twice, keeping a bolt, and the only thing he could spend the bolt on is the Blue Eyes Global.
Which I think he is thinking about.
Yeah, so
Sidekick wasn't doing much anyway.
What I actually like in David's position better is to declare blockers, declare the sidekick as a blocker, and then maybe pop the sidekick. Or you don't have to declare him as a blocker. If for some reason that's wrong, but it lets you kick the can down the road a little bit and do something a little better. Considering he's trying to Gabi for 2 this turn, I really just would have wanted the sidekick already in play.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
we have a Gabi, but nothing else.
I mean, he could probably just force it through, right?
Kelly did leave up 4 blockers and a mask, so potentially 5 dice worth of masks and a fist.
Can David polymorph? So I don't know what level the Black Widows are at. Maybe a polymorphed in Widow wins him the game. I'm guessing that's not the case because David's thinking about this for a bit.
He also doesn't have a sidekick, so he's trying to.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to this. This is nerve tension.
Oh, I thought he already rerolled. You didn't?
Nope.
Okay. So one sidekick. Oh.
1 sidekick, 4 masks, so you can make them all not block. I believe David has exact.
4.
Because he has a fist as well. So that's exact damage if he does it correctly.
Yes. Okay.
You field the goblin with the shield or the fist, deal 1 damage, and then the sidekick's going to get through. It's all going to end on a single sidekick for exact damage if he does it right.
Yeah. So there's no need to polymorph anybody, but he could.
David is thinking about it, and I'm afraid he might work himself out of a corner here. He's got a nice line of play. Oh, there we go.
Okay,
he figured it out.
So yeah, congratulations to David Walsh, our first Dice Masters national champion. Really, really great play from
great matches. Yeah,
great matches all weekend. So we're gonna let David clean up his stuff, and then he's gonna come join us on camera for a little bit and talk about his team and his strategy. So, Dane, what were you most surprised by as far as David's selections? Because I think there's a lot of stuff we expected, and there's a lot of stuff that was a little different.
Yeah, Wolverine was I was afraid that he was just kind of a for show, but he really is the deciding factor there.
It seemed gimmicky, but it was just so good.
I'm really excited to see what Polymorph's going to do. I think that people are going to run with it, and we'll see Jinzos. We'll see a lot of big guys that we didn't see before coming into play.
Agreed.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, who knows? Where the limit is on this.
And I mean, his team was very fundamental. He did it very well. I mean, every piece had a reason that it was there.
Yeah.
His globals were all good. They worked well together. He chose not to bring Magic Missile because he felt it hurt him more. And obviously, he made the right choice.
That was a good evaluation.
So I think that he is a great builder, great player, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, all weekend long, people would come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, I got some advice from David Walsh," and to an extent that no one said about other people. I'm sure other players were friendly and helpful to others, but someone says, "Oh yeah, this guy helped me. He suggested this. He suggested that," and those players saw success. We had one in the top 8, and then of course the guy doling out the advice, turns out, yeah, he had plenty to give because here he is as the champion.
Yep.
So Yeah, so let's see what happened at Origins. Somebody says from the crowd. So we're gonna get David in here. Thanks for
Yeah, I'll
joining
go
us,
grab it.
Dane.
Thank you for
Pleasure.
having me again.
Okay. Let me. Okay. So David is gonna drink some water. Keeping hydrated has been a critical part of this event for all of us. So congratulations,
Thanks,
you're a
man.
national champion. Isn't this
That's awesome.
exciting?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't believe it.
So, going forward, you gotta play a bunch of games and get ready for Origins.
Yep.
But how many games do you think you played to get ready for this?
It's definitely countless.
It's definitely
Yep.
countless.
I'd
Absolutely
say
makes sense.
a month and a half of solid playtesting.
Okay. I'm gonna ask some other fundamental questions. How did you get started playing Dice Masters?
I was in my local game store.
Mm-hmm.
I love Marvel.
Okay.
I saw. I was a fan of Quarriors. I liked the
Oh,
mechanics.
okay.
And then I saw Quarriors with Marvel, and I went, "Yeah, sign me up."
Awesome.
So, yep, yeah. And then after that, it just grabbed me. It's the mechanics of the game are great. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, I've played other games, and Dice Masters wasn't around when I first started at WizKids, and then it's like, oh yeah, let's try this place.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
phenomenal! Like I love this game. And
So great. Yep.
Yeah.
Ex HeroClix player as well, so I already left
Oh,
the
okay.
company. And yeah,
Yeah.
I just knew that. I knew they'd do justice. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's been a phenomenal ride for us as a company, and I'm glad to hear that you're experiencing that as a fan.
Oh yeah.
So, what's the scene like at your local store?
Quiet, unfortunately.
Okay.
The gentleman I just played is in Austin. We've pretty much won 100% of the local events
Okay.
between the two of us. We just split. And yeah, we actually came here together. So
yeah, no,
it's pretty
that's
funny.
really a phenomenal success story. So both of you guys have invitations to play at World Championships now.
Amazing. Yep.
So you're gonna be there for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be
Awesome.
there. Yep,
Okay.
no doubt about that.
Cool. So, what kind of teams are you going to expect from other players now that they've kind of seen what you're up to, and they're going to be getting ready as well for the upcoming events?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear Weapon 10, Doom Caliber Knight will sink in. It's the pressure, the tempo. It's
Absolutely.
It carried me through yesterday, through today. The only stumbles I had today, the 2 rounds that I didn't win, were because Wolverine decided not to show up.
Ooh,
so,
okay. So you went 3-2 to kind of sneak into the top 8.
Yeah, yeah. And
wow.
Because I actually
okay.
beat Kelly. So when he went undefeated after that, the way that it all worked, yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
interesting. Yep.
Yeah. You're
Crazy ride. I can't believe it. I thought I was out. I thought I was out. And here I am. Yeah.
most of the players with your record were indeed out, but you had played against a strong enough schedule of opponents that the tiebreakers benefited you.
Yeah, they were both undefeated. So
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's pretty impressive. I mean, and to go and see the undefeated player lose in the top 8, it kind of shakes things up for the whole crowd. Like, wow. And anybody could still do this. I mean, yesterday
yeah.
you went 8-0. So
Yeah.
in terms of the weekend, you had a very, very strong record.
Yeah.
Most importantly, winning the finals, obviously.
Sure. I can't believe it. At first, I'd say after the first 4 yesterday, I was like, man, I'm getting pretty lucky today. After the second 4, I said, man, this deck's really strong. Or this team.
Yeah,
today,
yeah, definitely. So did you make any changes at all between yesterday and today?
Doom Caliber Knight. If you saw the match that we watched that I played yesterday on camera, was actually I changed out Resurrection for Polymorph, and I was
Okay.
leaving out Doom Caliber Knight, but I was sandbagging for today.
Yeah, no,
so
that makes a lot of sense. You don't want to give everything away to people.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, when those both came back in together, it's just
Yeah,
it's
when
so
you
strong.
had suggested that you were saving stuff for today, I wasn't sure if that was to throw people off the scent or if it was the reality of it. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy to see that there was the reality of it.
Yeah, the website that I write for, Dyson on, I actually made a really good Nova build that I saw here really consistently today. And so I figured that what would happen is I would see a bunch of my deck, and then people would look at my deck since I built the one they were playing and copy it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, and that's how kind of Wolverine came to be, was just looking at Nova, the speed, the consistency, and matching that. Trying. I think it's one turn faster, and it's just slightly more consistent overall. So.
Yeah, that critical turn of when you're going to do your thing and set the game in your favor is so important.
Yep.
So,
Agreed.
people are going to be getting ready for Worlds. What is your advice to them?
Play a lot. Don't ever write a card off. Look at every card again. Every time a new set comes out, go look at all the old cards. Look at the
I had
interactions.
written off
revisit.
Wolverine. A
A lot of people did. Yep, a lot of people did.
Formerly Weapon 10 is now formerly overlooked.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was the first that was the first rare I pulled when I started the game a
Okay.
few months ago, and I thought I'm a former Magic player,
Okay.
and so I mean I have a pretty good idea of the strength of cards, and when I saw it, I was like, that's broken. The ability to swing 9 to 12, not obviously overpowered broken, but
Right,
just
yeah,
really,
yeah.
really, really strong.
Like, this is noticeable and crazy.
Yeah, really strong. And so I actually played a whole bunch, and it wasn't until 2 days later when I went to my first tournament, excuse me, and I played against Kelly,
Yeah.
who he's a distraction master. He's great with
Yeah.
distraction, and he just really quickly showed me, this is why Weapon 10 isn't good.
I only have to spend 1 mask every turn
Yep.
because you're attacking alone.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, okay, but I still love the card.
Yeah.
And then I'm going through Yu-Gi-Oh! And the first spoilers and everything, and then finally I see Doom Caliber. And I'm like, oh, his day has come.
Yeah.
It's finally time for Doom Caliber Plus.
So strong.
Yeah, it's great. So, and honestly, when you're running Weapon 10, it's not going to get used against you as strong as you're going to use it. So.
Yep, and I thought it was really interesting that you excluded Magic Missile and Slifer because
Yep.
they are really what's going to let people overcome your ability to polymorph efficiently. And
Exactly.
Get rid of some of your attackers before they can attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, Hulk for me, he's not really for the ping anyway, because
Yeah, yeah,
that can be strong and that can keep you safe. But I mean, I'm a rush down deck. I'm a tempo team rather. Sorry, I said deck.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, really, after a lot of playtesting and goldfishing against myself and just seeing, okay, when I field him at his lowest level, how bad does it set the other guy back to just pay those 2 bolts? Well, all in all, you're just gonna save yourself a couple extra turns that takes my tempo away completely and just takes my gas away.
Yep.
So yeah, I just thought, okay, I can't have the ping myself. So
Yeah.
and then if the other guy has the ping, well, cool. I got
yeah,
Hulk
I'll
and-
take
yeah.
advantage of this. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So it works out. Yeah.
Really, really smart safeguarding there. Cool.
Yeah.
So, do you think now that your store has a national champion, Dice Masters is going to be a little bit more popular there?
I think and hope so.
I
know
hope-
there's a lot
I
of
hope so
gamers
too.
in Austin. Austin, come on guys, show up. Let's do it. Dragon's Lair. Yep, let's do it.
Oh, I recognize the name of that store. They host a WizKids Open?
Yep.
Yes,
They did.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, that was quite a few months before I started playing. I didn't,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just completely unaware. I was playing just computer games at the time. I wasn't even really paying attention. And then I said, I need a new board game. And again, Marvel Dice. Let's
Marvel
do this.
Dice.
So-
Let's try it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I didn't end up getting to.
It's just a little bit of good luck makes you start playing this game, and then many rolls later, here you are, the national champion.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
thanks for joining us this
Yeah,
weekend.
thanks a lot for
It's
having
been a pleasure coming to everybody on Twitch, and I hope everyone enjoys the videos on YouTube when they're up. So take care and enjoy some Dice Masters, folks.
Thanks. Cool.